Okay, good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Today is March the 31st, Tuesday, March the 31st. It was official yesterday. The governor of the state said that the schools will not be physically reopening for the rest of the school year. So we're going to be getting deep into this online platform for the rest of the school year. So hopefully today you went and picked up your packet, and it's looking something like this. Front page explains where you're going to see the videos, but they will all also be posted to the Google Classroom. If you go online and go to my website and watch the videos and use use YouTube to watch them, then please subscribe, and then please add comments and ideas for tutorials that you would like to have during this time when we're away from school, and I will do my best to accommodate. So today we're going to be working on the second page where it says Monday warm up and then Monday mini project. So the package should be pretty familiar. It's pretty similar to what we do at school. You got your Monday, you got your warm ups. I'm not doing do nows for right now. We might do those in Google Classroom, and then in the back of the sheet you're going to find this reference paper, which many of you have seen before, and it's going to be super useful in completing these projects, especially the main project. We're going to be using this sheet for our warm-up and also for our main project. So what are we doing this week? We are going to be looking at this artist called Keith Haring. Keith Haring is considered by many to be one of the original street artists. He was a New York street artist, and he had a really unique style. And he used to just kind of go around New York painting these on subway walls, on wherever he could. And then he eventually became pretty famous, very, very famous, in fact, as a fine artist as well. So having his work in galleries, and people realized his importance to the world and his reflections of society at the time. So this is his work, and the reason I've chosen it is I think it really translates really well to what we have been doing in the past. Previously, we were looking at a whole bunch of how to do our letters, and turning line letters into bubble letters, graffiti letters. And this is the reason I like Keith Haring, is I think he's a really great way for us to kind of start making figurative artwork without making it too complicated. So here's some other pieces of work. So, see these, they're all pretty simple. They're just, human shapes. And then as soon as we get in here, you can see his work's getting pretty wild. Like, look all the different things you can see on here. You got this character that's kind of a dog, one that's some kind of a chicken, one that's some kind of a bird or a bat. These four people are connected to each other. This dude's got a TV for a head. So much going on. And part of the fun about Keith Haring pictures is trying to work out the story that's going on. Like, what on earth could be happening in all these different pictures? So that's something that I hope for us to investigate and practice together during this project this week. Even more of his kind of wild characters, pregnant women, who knows what all those X's are, somebody with a tail, heart, dude with a snake head, three-eyed character in there, 84 on the TV. One of the great things about looking at art is trying to work out what's going on. Like, Keith Haring's work is super pleasing to look at, bold colors on a white background. But then also trying to make up a story of what you think is happening as well. And I also love all the energy that he brings into these pictures, all these different lines that he has, like the ones that make them move, the arms and the limbs look like they're moving, and then the other lines that are used to bring emphasis to the different parts of the picture as well. These are all things we're going to be incorporating into our work. And then pushing it even further, even more of his crazy work. So feel free to search around on the internet and do some more research on Keith Haring. Some of his stuff is pretty provocative, and you got to kind of take it with a mature lens. So moving into our warm-up today, I want you to find the sheet, which was, what did I say? It was the fourth sheet, I think, in your packet from this week. And then we're going to start our warm-up today by just drawing a simple character. So the beauty of Keith Haring's work is it kind of allows us to just draw, essentially, stickmen and then turn them into figures. All right, so we can just start. This is going to be our warm-up today. So let's just go with a basic stickman. I'm not even going to make you draw a pelvis or ribs or anything. I'm just going to have you draw a basic stickman. And so then after you've got that done, just like we used to do, like we were doing last week in our bubble letters, we're just going to trace around the outside of him. Try not to have any hard edges like we have over here. And keeping with the playfulness of it all. This is what I'm looking for, something like this. So we should end up with characters like this. That's what we're going for. If you think he's too skinny over here, then you could try and draw a more complicated skeleton. I think that might even help our drawing a little bit if we just had a slightly more complicated skeleton. This time let's try and give him some shoulders. Let's try and give him some ribs and a belly and a pelvis or some hips. Yeah, he looks way more interesting. You can see the difference between the two. I much prefer the one on the right, just because I feel like his proportions are better, because we've added in the shoulders and the hips and the torso. So after you've done that, then we need to work on your line quality. So going around the character. So as we go through this project, this is what I'm looking for in these characters. Notice the difference between the one on the left and the one on the right. No line quality, line quality. Less well-made figure, better made figure on the right side. And the other thing, let's have a look over here. If we go back to Keith Haring again, I forget these great movement lines that he has in there. I want to incorporate some of those into the picture. If nothing more, they make the picture much more interesting because it doesn't have all that background. The lines help the picture have a lot of movement, and I think that makes a much more interesting picture. So just play with it. Now we use these lines to bring attention, maybe, and you tell me what emotion you think he's having right there. I feel like these curved lines, kind of, you look back in looking old comics and things, you'll find kind of simple curved lines like that give the idea of somebody moving, or some kind of motion. And then these straight diagonal lines coming from somewhere help us, it brings attention to the head, and also you could say it's making him look alarmed. All right, that's your warm-up for today. I'll see you for today's mini project in the next video.